It's all going down in Newcastle.
You don't want to miss this one.
Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, Coogan Cassius, and some very special guests, Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher, and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn,
you get up, you dress up, and you fucking show up.
Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. It's Big Daddy time. Kiefer Crosbie joins me, mate. Pleasure for me to meet you. Thanks for giving me some of your time. This is all a bit mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Yeah, it's like a circus almost, and we're, you know what I mean. We're the entertainers, but this is part of the fight life. I could be in a way worse position than I am here. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's mad. But what really matters is Saturday night, and that's where I flourish. You know what I mean? So.
I saw you work out in the ring. You're looking sharp, you're looking quick, you're looking shit hot, if I'm being honest. And I know you're looking around for Aaron as well, and he isn't here yet.
I wasn't really looking around to him, but about 10 people told me he's not here, he never showed up. So let's just hope he shows up Saturday night. You know what I mean? That's all that matters.
You talk to me about how this opportunity came about for you to fight on the Kingpin show.
Yeah, well, I was fighting in April against Cowboy Oliveira, and they were messaging me maybe 10 days or 2 weeks before that fight. And I actually said, no, I was like, nah, listen, the way I work is I focus on a fight at a time, I don't think ahead. And they said, oh, look, think about it. And I said, nah, I'm not into it, don't want to do it. I'm going to get to the UFC after this fight. After the fight, the UFC never came, so they kept hounding me and asking me, and I said, look, you know what else am I doing? I have no other fights coming up. I'll do like a 6-7 week boxing camp, put the work in the boxing gym. I love boxing anyways, and make some money, and then move on with my career back to MMA.
Yeah, for those who don't know, can you tell us a little bit about kind of your background and how you got into MMA as well?
Yeah, well, I started martial arts when I was 10, you know what I mean? Doing kickboxing, all the traditional martial arts, karate, taekwondo, I've boxed. And then in my teenage years, I was in a boxing gym, do you know what I mean? And when I was 21, I spent 2 years solely just boxing and powerlifting. That's what I've done. And then I kind of got bored. I had a few fights in clubs and stuff like that, nothing mad. And then after that, I got bored and I said, right, I really want to give MMA a go. I had an MMA fight back then with no MMA training, and I won by armbar. I learned that on YouTube. And then I love MMA. It's the purest and the hardest sport in the world. It's the purest form of combat. So I wanted to kind of really just give it everything. And I left boxing, went into MMA, and that was it then, really, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people in this influencer scene might kind of, I'm not going to use the word claim to be MMA fighters, but they might have dabbled in MMA a little bit. For those who don't know, your fight against Oliveira, you knocked out a man who's got 15, 20 wins in the UFC, 22 wins in the UFC. So you're not here to fuck about. You're not a man who's dabbled around in MMA. You're an MMA fighter.
Ah, fact, man. Look at me resume. Look who I fought. I've never asked for an easy fight in my whole life. I've always actually asked for the hardest option. You know, when I was in Bellator, they were always sending me like a list of people, and I always picked the most experienced, hardest fight, and that's a fact. And you can ask anyone on that show. You know what I mean? And yeah, I am a real fighter, and that's it. That's who I am. You know what I mean? So this is a good opportunity I took in. Yeah, fuck it, here we are.
I saw you obviously throwing a few jibes towards Aaron on Instagram. Why is it Aaron Chalmers? Why is it just kind of something that, I'm not going to say fell into place, but is it just this person this time, or is there kind of a reasoning behind this fight?
There's no reason. They mentioned his name, and that was it. And I was like, nah, not really. And then the name was just there saying he wants to fight you, and I was like, really? Like, I didn't see it happen. I was like, he really wants to fight me, like in Dublin. Like, I didn't believe them almost. And then yeah, it happened like that, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, here we are. Do you know what I mean? So I have nothing against the man actually at all. I can't even dislike him, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? He's a nice bloke, he is. But this is the fight life, not the nice life. You know what I mean? And if you're an opponent of mine, it's war. You know what I mean? And afterwards we can shake hands and we can be sportsmanship and all that. But right now this is a fight. You know what I mean? And I'm here to fucking fight. So whatever they put in front of me, they're gonna know that. And he knew that last night. So that's how I roll, mate. You know what I mean? That's how I am. So yeah, what can you do?
Yeah, we've already dropped the line of the week so far, and it's only Thursday. It's not an exhibition, it's an execution. I think that's why perhaps people might see it in terms of, do you feel disrespected a bit by Aaron talking about you or kind of being your opponent? But is it just kind of a switch in a fight then? There's a switch that just goes in your head. This is fight week now, we're not messing about.
Yeah, mate, always. It is a fight. It's life or death here, do you know what I mean? Like, you can get KO'd flat in front of all my people on Saturday night. Let's not make no mistake about it. This is the reality of fighting. I've seen it. I've been in there, and I've been on, in corners where I've seen friends of mine getting hurt and broke up and broken bones and KO'd and blood spilling, and it's a devastating sport. MMA and boxing. It's a hard, cruel life we live, and we dedicate ourselves. So this is the mindset I get into, that like we are going to war, we are going in here to fucking fight here with our lives. You know, it's all slick and building a fight and doing all these interviews is great and all, but at the end of the day on Saturday night, for that 15-minute window, we're in there fighting, and we are trying to hurt each other, you know, and that's just the way it is. So I have to switch, and my confidence comes from my work ethic, you know what I mean? I put the work in, and yeah, on fight week, it's like, right, I'm in that mode, I'm in mental mode, you know, psycho mode. It's like, nah, no one's beating me, I don't care. And if I have to, it's worked time and time again for me, so long may I last.
It's all going down in Newcastle.
You don't want to miss this one.
Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, Kiefer Crosbie, and some very special guests, Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher, and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn,
You get up, you dress up, and you fucking shut up.